Hi, I'm Darius Arya for Ancient Rome Live, and today we're at Villa Giulia, the National Etruscan Museum, conveniently located by Villa Borghese and just north of Piazza del Popolo. The 19th century collection is housed here in Villa Giulia that dates to the middle of the 16th century. And just the structure alone is worth a visit. The architecture, the sumptuous frescoes. Pope Julius III constructed this sumptuous villa using many pieces from antiquity. He also built spaces like this sunken nymphaeum, fed by an aqueduct, the Aqua Virgo, to keep his guests cooled and refreshed in the summer months. So let's explore this vast collection of paintings, frescoes, vases, jewelry, and get a sense of who the mysterious Etruscans really were. And let's then understand their lasting legacy and their great civilization. This is an Etruscan terracotta masterpiece. This is known as the sarcophagus of the sposi, of the married couple. And it was found smashed into 400 fragments in 1881 and was later acquired for the Etruscan Museum. And it is absolutely stupendous. What you have is two parts. The couple on the top is the lid, and then the base, this dining room couch, the cline, at the bottom. This dates to about 530 or 520 BC. There's heavy influence from Greek art, but this is its own production, its own conceptualization for the Etruscan culture. They're very wealthy at this time in seafaring, and ultimately they want to celebrate their successes in the afterlife. You can see so many refined details here. The eyes, the husband with his bare chest, reaching his arm lovingly around the shoulder of his wife. She's got her toothless hat here. She's got her cline with these lovely rendered folds, down to her very beautifully rendered pointed shoes. And of course, they're resting on what looks very convincingly to be a very comfortable couch. And you have the details of the cline at the bottom. They're dining together in the afterlife. Several important antiquarian collections were purchased and became part of the National Etruscan Museum collection. And there are so many pieces of extraordinary value. We're in room 8, Tarquinia, and we're looking at a tomb. We've actually been transported back to ancient Tarquinia. This tomb was found in 1873. And then the restorers in the 50s and 60s peeled off the layer with the color and reconstructed it, and here we can now enjoy it. We don't do that anymore for conservation purposes, but we're lucky to have this tomb here today to explore. It's the tomb of the funerary bed, referring to this object at the end wall with some cushions on top, surmounted by little crowns. And what you have all around it is scenes of banqueting. You have people on couches, you have athletic competitions, boxing, discus throwing, the big chariot race, and of course there are lots of slave attendants and musical players. It's an extraordinary scene of a real-life banquet. But then look at the lower half and you have a series of dolphins diving into the water, probably or possibly referring to that transition in your reality. You've gone from the life of the living and into something new, the afterlife. Let me share with you now a really extraordinary experience. Get up close and personal with one of so many incredible vases in this collection. Now this is a tribute to the Berkeley Painter, dates to 450 BC. It was found in the Banditacha cemetery of Caire, and it was ultimately used to contain the ashes of the deceased. Now let's take a look at this scene here. It's absolutely beautifully rendered in red figure. You have on one side the god, the messenger god Hermes, and he's carrying a little baby. That's Dionysus. His mother was just killed by Jupiter, Zeus, her husband, when she asked him to reveal himself in his original god form. And so she died, the baby was saved, and in this moment, Hermes is giving the baby over to a nymph for safekeeping. So you have drama that's told here. You have obviously also a relationship with Dionysus to the deceased. Here we have a very dramatic reconstruction of a very important temple. This dates to 470-460 BC. It's from the town of Pyrgi, which was the port of the very important Etruscan town, Caire. And what you have here for the subject matter is a Greek myth. Now the production is all Etruscan, all this beautiful painted terracotta, all these complex figures. It's a masterpiece. When we come and look at the story, it is, well, it looks like a gory horror movie. What's going on here is you've got Zeus and you've got Athena, and then you have some protagonists from the story of the Seven Against Thebes. And in this case, Tydeus is actually eating the brains out of his enemy. He's finally going to be struck dead by the gods. And of course, this is the hubris, this is that human pride that everyone wants to avoid. Villa Giulia hosts the National Etruscan Museum, and it's an incredible collection. It also accommodates many other Italic peoples. This is a great place to learn about other people that came before the Romans along with the Etruscans, like the Faliscans, the Umbrians, the Sabines, the Latins. There's a whole other world before ancient Rome to discover in Villa Giulia.